Looking at the two side by side, the main difference is going to be this upper portion. So you can see this one has wireless charging for your cell phone. It also has a sliding drawer where this one is lacking. They're both the same in terms of cup holders and rear space. If we remove this, they're basically identical. This one, to open the storage space here, it's a press down and a press down. And then you could flip this up. It's not very elegant, but there is space down here. However, don't be mistaken because there is space in here as well, plenty of it. Another key difference is this uses USB-A and USB-C. USB-A is an old port. Don't really care for that. This one has two USB-Cs right here. We're gonna be using this Tesla, the parts from this Tesla. We need to move the seat forward to get this out. Let's first start by removing the center console side panels. You can shove a pry tool in there and you're just gonna want to pull it out. This back part right here is what we need to remove. You can see there's a little line right here. So we're gonna take the pry tool and get in here. You wanna open the left side first and then go to the right side. Use the bigger end of the pry tool. You're simply popping out all of these clips right here. You see that blue notch? All you're gonna want to do is press it down and then pull the left side out. That will disconnect the data bus. On the passenger side, underneath the center console, there's a USB connection. Make sure that is unplugged as well. Newer center consoles have about 3 bolts on each side. Older center consoles have about 2. Your center console may have more or less bolts, but typically there's going to be 3 on each side for newer consoles, and for older ones there is going to be 2. All you have to do is look along the side, move the seat up and back. Ours had 2 in front of the seat and then 1 behind the seat, kind of near where the data bus line was. Remove all those bolts and the center console will slide right out. And this is the new console that we're going to replace the old one with. Make sure you take these out with the old. Now, you have a whole hole inside here. Honestly, this might be more convenient for some things. I showed you removing a newer center console, but to remove the old center console, it's basically the same thing. So go do that, pause the video, do that, and come back to it once those are both out. Because now it is time to slide that center console back in. When you take it out, all you're doing is sliding it up and out towards the back seats. And when you're putting it in, you're just sliding it in from the back seats towards the front of the car. Make sure you don't smack the screen though. Make sure all the screw holes are aligned and there isn't a huge body gap underneath the screen where the center console touches the front part. We're not going to bolt anything in yet because we want to test to make sure everything works. So first connect your USB cable. It's on the passenger side, the one we disconnected earlier, and then also connect the data bus that's going to be on the back. It's the blue tabs that we also disconnected earlier. Plug those back in and it's time to test our key card. So you might be wondering, well, why don't we just use the one that comes with this center console? The reason why we can't use that to tap our card is because each one of these is keyed with the car. So that old one needs to go on this new one. We need to pry this off so that we can install that onto here.
There's a higher chance of breaking it when you take it from the back than the front, but it's...
So to not break it, you'll just carefully slide your little pick tool under there and push it up. This is the only way to remove it? Because it looks like it's under the silver trim. You can't remove the silver trim and then...
that, they made it like that.
Oh. All right, it's out after I think 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get a single panel out.
So we're gonna put this back, but this module needs to be switched from the other.
All you're gonna need is these 2 screws from this new one to undo this. There's also a clip back here, so just be wary of that. And from there, you're gonna want to take this one. This was the previous one. We're going to unscrew these and then mount this module to here. When you do pull this out though, be wary of this connector, as you don't wanna just yank on this. Back here, there is a little tab where you can just pull it down and pull it out for it to unclip itself. Now again, we're just swapping the modules. There you go.
Yeah, that's like another thing. Okay, that one goes on this one.
So that's a swap that's gonna go back to the other car, and then this one with the previous module, the one linked to this car, is gonna be back into here.
You know what's gonna be funny? If the wiring harness is different.
But it's not, right?
I hope not.
This one?
Oh. And then the final part.
Make sure that's plugged in first. And then you can go ahead clipping one of the harder things in.
These need to go in there. And you see how there's no space?
Yep, to push it in.
So you need to force it. You know, we try to do only tender care around here, but sometimes.
There we go. And just about in. So make sure at the front, this plastic is pushed behind the Alcantara. Make sure it's flush, and boom. It's in.
Kind of doubted its position for a little bit. But
No, all we have to do is clean it up a little bit, and that is your new center console installed after you put these bolts back in. And then do not forget the last two 10 mils that go back here. So one on that side and then one to the right. Okay, now the last thing is to get the cover and just press it in till it clips in and is laid flush on both sides.